He said his grandmother died, and he could not accept the fact that his grandmother was going to the hellfire. So he left Islam. That's it. His grandmother died. He couldn't accept the fact that she was going to hellfire, and therefore he decided to join her. He left Islam. All right? Now let's look at the Salaf. There's a woman named Durra, and I want you guys to tell me who her family is. This woman named Durra, she was from the companions, may Allah Ta'ala be pleased with her. This woman was informed that her mother and father were going to the hellfire, but they were both alive. And she was informed by a very reliable source, the most reliable source in the universe. Tabbat yada Abi Lahab wa tab. Durra bint Abi Lahab, right? Her father was Abu Lahab, her mother was Jamil, right? When Durra, the daughter of Abu Lahab, migrated to Al-Madinah, some people said to her, "You are the daughter of the fire or the firewood of hell." They said to her, "You are the daughter of the firewood of hell." You imagine that? Now, when the Prophet ﷺ heard this, and what relation was she to him? She was his cousin. He said, "What's the matter with some people that they offend my lineage and my kinfolk? Surely whoever offends my lineage and my kinfolk has offended me, and whoever offends me has offended Allah." But that woman, that great, noble woman, may Allah please her, she was firm. She didn't let that, what the people said, make her leave Islam or make her upset. She was firm. She was patient with that, right? Another example, and this will be the last example, and we'll end with this. There's another man that I know personally. And he was living in a Muslim country, and some difficulty befell him, and the Muslims didn't help him. This man had been Salafi his whole life. He left Islam because of this, because the Muslims didn't help him. Don't you understand that if you travel to a Muslim country, you're going to find some racism there? You're going to find people that are racist. You're going to find people that are mean. You're going to find people that are going to steal from you. What does it have to do with your Lord? Nothing. What does that have to do with your religion? Nothing. That's that person, right? Now, Ka'b ibn Malik, may Allah Ta'ala please with him, he stayed back from the battle of Tabuk. And thus, by the command of Allah Ta'ala, the Muslims boycotted him, and the Christians tried to persuade him to leave Islam. He said, "While I was walking in the market of Medina, I saw a Christian farmer from Shem who came to sell his grains in Medina. He was saying, 'Who will lead me to Ka'b ibn Malik?' And the people began to point me out. And he came to me and handed me a letter from the king of Ghassan. And the letter read, 'To proceed, I have been informed that your friend,'" meaning who? The Prophet ﷺ, "has treated you harshly. Allah does not allow you to live in a place where you feel inferior and your right is lost. So join us and we will console you." See how I try to use Islam? Allah don't allow that to happen to you. Ka'b, he said, "When I read the letter, I said to myself, this is also a test. So I took the letter to the oven and made fire with it." Now, I'm going to tell you something that happened to me. When I was in Yemen, and this is how these stories can become practical. When something happens to you, you think back, okay, this is how Ka'b responded, so let me try to respond similar. He's much greater than me, but I'm trying to emulate him. When I was in Yemen, there was a friend of mine, Idris Abdullah. May Allah Ta'ala preserve him. He's a brother of my close friend, Abu Inaya. May Allah preserve him also. He was studying with us, the brother Idris, in Damaj. So it was Hajj season, so he wanted to make Hajj. His mother was going to meet him on Hajj. So he went to get his Hajj paperwork, and they locked him up. And he had a visa. So I'm trying to be the good friend. I said, okay, well, I'm sure his mother's worried. I'm going to go get his mother's phone number from him so I can call his mother. This was before we had cell phones, Jaquan. I said, I'm going to get his mother's phone number. I'm going to visit him where? Inside the jail. Get his mother's phone number, call his mother, and let her know he's not coming. So I went to the jail. And I said, look, I want to visit Brother Idris so I can get his mother. They said, okay, oh, you like to see him? Okay. He's right there in that jail. So they showed me where he was at. They locked me up. They locked me up. And it was the Hajj season. So, okay, you'll get out Bukhara. Bukhara, Shabana, means what? It means Allah knows best. Right? So I was inside of the jail just waiting. And I had a visa too. And after the Hajj, we spent the Eid. And of course, when you're in prison or jail, in the Muslim country, you're not doing the Eid prayer there. Right? So we spent the Eid there, and there's no one phone call. We're just there. And after the Eid, the warden came back in town. And so they said, okay, the warden wants to see you. And of course, the jail is, a little bit, it's kind of raggedy, So they blindfold me. They walk me up the stairs, and they sit me in front of the warden, and he's yelling at me in Arabic. He's, really badgering me and everything. And then all of a sudden, he gets real calm, and he says, okay, take off the blindfold. And I take it off. And he said, do you know why you are being deported? I said, no. And I was real spiteful. He's my elder. No, I'm. He said, because the American government says if we catch any student from Sheikh Mukbil, send them home. Allah, he told me that. He said, the American government said if we catch any student from Sheikh Mukbil, send them home. And so they sent us home. And I had that one thobe on, and I was wearing a house thobe. And this is no offense. I'm sorry somebody's got a house thobe on here, but, the house thobe, that's just the thobe that you wear, the sleeveless thobe, house thobe. And I had that one thobe for the whole time I was in the jail, And so they sent us back. And so I'm from North Carolina. Idris is from Jersey. And they gave us a ticket to JFK. And so I'm talking to the counselor from America, and I said, okay, well, I'm from North Carolina. The ticket says JFK. They said, I know where it says. Get to North Carolina the best way you can. But Allah Ta'ala brought out some good from that. But there's a shahid to this, all right? So when the preacher from the church that I knew my whole life, when he heard about what happened, he said to my mother, he said, don't worry about that. He said, when he sees how the Muslims treated him, he'll be back in church on Sunday. So they're always waiting, always waiting. By Allah's mercy, I wasn't in church on Sunday. Alhamdulillah, I was patient with it. But the shahid, Yaquan, is that they're always waiting, but just thinking about what happened to people better than me. Whenever something happens to me, I remind myself something better happened to somebody better than me. Whenever somebody says something negative about me, I say somebody says something worse about somebody better than me. I don't say why not me. I don't say why me. I say why not me. Who am I not to be tried? If people better than me have been tried with worse than what I'm tried with. So that's just my story, Yaquan, personal story. And inshallah, I'll mention more benefits about my prison time. And actually, I went back to Yemen after that, and they kicked me out again. But I'll tell that story later on, inshallah. I'm not going to bore y'all with that story.